Do you ever question if you're worth it? The effort, the energy, the time? I know I have. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, I still do. Luckily, I've put in the hard work and I recognize that in the moments that I find myself questioning, am I worth it? It's usually because I'm tired, I'm hungry, or I'm stressed. Maybe even a combo. But today, I want us to talk about why you are worth showing up for today and every day, because I never want you to question, am I worth it? So I'm going to go ahead and answer that question now. Yes, you are. Today and always, you are worth showing up for, even on the hard days. So let's dive in. Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. Have you ever thought what causes us to question our worth? It's often one of two things, usually perceived failure or comparison. Both are very real experiences, but I don't ever want them to be so impactful in a negative way that they cause you to question who you are and if you matter. Life is always going to include moments of failure, moments where things didn't go quite like we expected or wanted them to, or even planned for them. But that doesn't mean that we really failed. John Maxwell has a great book. It's called Sometimes We Win, Sometimes We Learn. And the sooner that we can get our brains to adopt this mentality and focus, the more that we will improve our confidence and how we perceive situations. We are always learning and growing. Situations that many will view as a failure actually are helping us to become who we're meant to be. There is a lesson in every situation, and it really isn't a failure if you take the lesson away and apply it. So what did you learn? What can you learn? How is this shaping your character or something that you need for your profession or relationships? Take the lesson, don't view it as a failure, and stop connecting it to your worth. That being said, comparison is the second biggest killer of us questioning our worth. We look at others and we think, gosh, I wish I looked like them or I had what they had, whether it be relationally or financially or just things. Maybe you wish that you could travel like somebody. I have no idea what your values are, but every time you look at somebody and you want for what they have, you are belittling all that you are creating in your life. You have a great life. You might not think so right now. You might not see all the beautiful pieces, but that is part of what we're working on. We are reframing our minds to constantly be looking for gratitude and things that are wonderful, because the more that we appreciate what we have and our lives, the better they become, and the more that we can grow them into even more beautiful experiences and pieces that we have and are capable of. But the more that we spend time wanting for what others have and are experiencing, we are becoming more and more resentful, and we are questioning who we are, our worth, our value, our capabilities, our intelligence, all the things, because we're busy over here paying attention to everybody else and their successes and possessions and all the things that they're doing, that we're missing the good right in front of us. So stop looking at what others have and who they are and the things that you wish were different in your life, and do it. Take action. If you want to have a certain style, then maybe work on your wardrobe. If you wish that you were stronger or want to improve your physique, Get more active, learn about nutrition, honor your body, fuel it for good, healthy energy. If you wish that you had a better friend group or a bigger friend group, get plugged in. Find ways that you can connect with like-minded people, either where you are now or where you want to be. But just sitting and being resentful and wishing that your life was different is not going to accomplish that. It's actually going to create increased negativity, and it's going to affect your self-confidence and your overall self-worth. Just like we talked about on Tuesday, if you were here, and if you weren't, I encourage you after this episode to go back and listen to it. One of the biggest ways that you can respect and honor yourself and improve your life quickly is self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of the highest levels of respect that you can give yourself, because you are teaching and reminding yourself that you are trustworthy and that you show up and that you keep your word. One of the biggest things that you can do on this journey is to allow yourself to know that you are trustworthy. And that starts with you. Are you keeping your word to yourself? Are you keeping your promises? If you said that you were going to start a new habit, whether that is one of creation or something that you're going to stop doing, are you keeping your word? Or did it get hard? Was it inconvenient and you stopped? Because honestly, that's also a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're used to quitting. You're used to being unsuccessful. And so you are just accepting that that's going to happen now. So why not just have it happen sooner? No, keep your word. Remind yourself that you are someone who is trustworthy and who shows up not only for others, but also for yourself. Self-commitment is an act of self-love. And the more self-love that we have, the higher our confidence and the better our relationships with others and with ourselves. Because when we're honoring ourselves, we can better honor others, because it's an overflow. It's an overflow of how we're feeling and our gratitude and our happiness and just our overall joy. Now, I realize that life is not always smooth sailing. And if you are in a season that I can completely relate to personally recently, you know what it feels like to be stretched thin, to feel challenged every time you turn a corner. And honestly, often to feel like you're running on empty. It's not a great feeling. It's not great for self-care, for confidence, for energy, for giving to others, as well as showing up for yourself. And sometimes that's just the reality of the season that we're in. But before you start questioning your progress, I want you to pause, because you are still worth showing up for. You are still showing up and keeping your commitments at work, personally, in your relationships, and just things that you want to accomplish. The difference is it might not look as perfect as you hoped. And that's where the reminder that consistency isn't about always doing everything right and perfectly, but it's about showing up even when it's hard and inconvenient and messy. And that consistency is far more valuable than perfection. I would rather you imperfectly show up consistently than occasionally, when it's convenient and all the stars align, show up perfectly. So in these seasons where things are a little different, a little more difficult, require a little more intentional planning, just remember that your efforts are still recognized and that you are very much worth it. I just, without a shadow of a doubt, no matter the amount of energy, no matter the amount of times that you need to take a break, that you always know that people are grateful for who you are and that they love having you in their lives, and that you also need to appreciate who you are, even in these tired, exhaustive seasons. Your peace matters. And so in these seasons when we are extra tired and stretched thin, you have to remember that protecting your peace and keeping your sanity isn't selfish. It's actually strategic, because we can't keep going if we are too run down, if we are too exhausted, and if we are just honestly riding the struggle bus a little too long. So remember that amidst all of this, you have to schedule time to unwind, to breathe, and that is a piece of the process of success. Remember that missing a day doesn't mean that you're off track or that you failed. It means that you're human. The strongest habits have their ups and downs. Some people work out every single day and then they miss a day. Does that mean that they failed? Does that mean that the habit is worthless and they should throw it out the window? No, it means they're human. If you listen to Tuesday's episode, one of the most valuable lessons I learned from one of my mentors was the saying of, it's okay to miss one day, just don't miss two. Make sure you show back up. If you miss one day, it's okay, life happens. Breathe, release, exhale, offer grace, and then come back tomorrow. You missed 2 days, now we start to have a little bit of a question, is this becoming the new habit? Only because it's harder to show up the more days that we miss. You can actually miss 2 days and be fine. It's not a reality of, oh my gosh, I missed 2 days. Okay, now I'm done. No, you can miss 2 days, you can miss 3. Life happens. You might get the flu. Who knows? But just the more days that we miss, the harder it gets to show back up. So that's really the message in the saying, you can miss 1 day, but don't miss 2. Because you're human, get back on track. Know that you worked really hard to make these habits and they're valuable to you. You said that they're important, so keep them. And amidst it all, give yourself grace. We treat our friends and our relationships so well. Someone messes up and it's okay. You got this. Don't worry about it. What happens when we mess up? Do we give ourselves that same grace, or do we have internal self-talk that's far more negative? We deserve the same kindness that we extend to others. We can't neglect ourselves because then our purpose suffers. We have to encourage ourselves. We have to reframe our self-talk to be the most encouraging and gracious and forgiving, because we want to see success not only in others' lives, but also ourselves. Because when we're succeeding, it's feeding into our purpose and it's letting us breathe life and encourage others as well, because people are always watching. Every time you show what's possible, every time you get back up, every time you don't give up, you're showing other people it's okay to be human. It's okay to fall off the wagon or to make a mistake, because I know what it takes and I have the self-discipline and I know that I'm worth it to get back on track. Because I said this is important and I have the habits and the guardrails and the boundaries and the support system in place. And so it's okay. It was a mistake. It was an accident. It was a tough time, but I'm here. I'm back now. It may sometimes be a slow start, but you're still starting. So wherever you're at, no matter the time, no matter the energy that you have, celebrate your wins, because every tiny win matters and they compound to have the big successes. So if you have 5 minutes, give your all 5 minutes of effort and celebrate that. You showed up, you kept your word, you did what you said you would do. Every time you choose to show up in a small way, you're investing in your growth, in your future, who you're becoming, who you want to be. One of the best things that I've heard recently is that your well-being is your wealth. Yes, there are monetary forms of wealth, don't get me wrong, but your well-being, your peace of mind, your happiness, your health, those are pieces of your wealth as well. Those are things that you can't buy. So I need you to be investing in yourself and to be recognizing every win along the way, because I need you to keep going, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, because you know what you're working towards and you know that it's worth it because you are worth it. Showing up for yourself doesn't always mean doing more. Sometimes it means taking a step back. Sometimes showing up looks like resting. It could be a walk. It could be reaching out to a friend for some support. It could be the encouragement that you needed because you thought you could do everything yourself and you're reminded that you're human and we all need help from others. The truth is, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're learning the lessons, you are growing, and you are becoming. And every piece of this journey is intentional and it's helping you become who you need to be for what you are meant to do. So I want to offer you a few reflection and journal prompts just to think about and help process these pieces from this week. You can simply listen to them if you're driving or on a walk, or if you have some time where you can sit and actually journal. That's really powerful too, because getting the thoughts and the feelings and just working through the different pieces from brain to pen and getting them out is very, very valuable. So I would encourage you to take that time if you're able, but if you're not, whatever you are able to do is still extremely valuable and will help. So here are some things to think about. First, where have I been hardest on myself this week and why? In what area of life do I feel least supported by me? What's one area where I've been seeking validation from others instead of practicing self-trust? What does it look like to protect my peace this week? What's one small win I can celebrate from this week? How can I remind myself I am worth the effort even when no one else sees it? If I fully believed I was worth showing up for, what would I do differently? I hope the answer is to all pieces of this that you know you're worth it and that you are ready to make some shifts, to trust yourself more, to take the breaks that you need for your peace and your energy, to lean on others and let them in so that you don't feel like you have to do everything yourself, and practicing self-discipline, because consistency isn't about perfection, remember. It's about showing up and keeping your word, because you are worth showing up for even on the hard days. Consistency is going to help get you there imperfectly, I promise. The perfect efforts actually set us back because they can be crippling, because they're never fully attainable. So practice imperfect consistency and invest in yourself daily. You are doing amazing work. You are doing the hard work. Remember that this is a journey, not a sprint. So keep showing up because you're worth it. Offer yourself grace along the way, and I'll talk to you soon. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's ShannonMarqueta. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly.com/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.